Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time I'm delighted to be joined by my old friend ARASH.
Hey, how are you doing, Jules?
I'm doing really good. Are you okay, mate?
Yeah, looking forward to this.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this time something a little bit different. We're going to be going through these recent publications. We've got Flexi Pop, the first issue of the classic 80s magazine, and also the first two issues of Punk Lives, which reprints the classic punk magazine from the early 80s. So
yes,
I think it's going to be a really, really interesting sort of video to have a look through. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So Arash, thank you very much for coming in and, well, being with us today.
Well, thanks for asking me, Jules. I love talking about music, so that's my thing. And some of the featured artists here are right up my street anyway. There's a lot of good stuff here, the punk stuff, the two-tone stuff. Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it? As soon as these sort of came my way, you were my immediate first thought. I thought,
oh, great.
Arash, you're the most musically knowledgeable person I know.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. And
well, to put it in Del Boy terms, but he was talking about chandeliers. Talking to a Torabi about punk and two-tone is like talking to Mr. Kipling about cakes.
Well, that is it. So we first met, I think it was primary school.
No, it was
just after.
Yeah, it's a bit more confused than that. We went to the same school, but not at different time. But not at the same time.
Ah, right.
But because of mutual friends,
That's
met.
how we met. Yeah. And that was
you'd left
many
before I
decades ago.
joined.
Yeah.
But because of Alexis and Will, the mutual friends, we knew each other from the sort of get-go.
And our paths crossed, through the passage of time over the years, haven't they?
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and I mean, you remember my Purple Haze as well.
I certainly do. Yes, I do indeed. It's a great shop.
And what's sort of your musical heritage? Because I know you've written for magazines, you've been in bands as well.
Yeah, I used to write for a Southwest, like music and fashion and lifestyle, etc. magazine. I did the music bit. I don't know anything about fashion and lifestyle, but it was called 24/7 magazine. It stopped in 2013. I wrote between 2005 and until the end. I was doing record reviews, interviewing bands.
I remember. You met some great people, didn't you? Over the years?
Specials, Basement Jacks, Bez out of the Happy Mondays.
I remember that one,
There's quite a few people I interviewed for 24/7. Then after that, I started writing for Louder Than War, which is an online magazine, and that's run by John Robb, who's like a sort of a minor kind of punk rock celebrity, as it were. But he's got a music magazine / website. I wrote for them for quite a few years. I don't know, about 6 or 7 years. I stopped about 5 years ago. And I made records and played in bands with former Creation Records artists. Jim Shepard, he still is in the Jasmine Minks. Phil Wilson from the June Brides. I actually joined the June Brides as well. I've also played bass and made records with the Distractions, the Granite Shore, and my ongoing thing is Beat Hotel, which is friends of mine from Brighton, and our drummer is Dave Morgan, who is in loads of Creation bands like The Loft, Weather Prophets, Jazz Butcher, and he played drums on the first Primal Scream album as well. So I've done a few bits and pieces.
Steve Davis's group as well.
No, that's my cousin Covus.
Oh, Covus is in that one.
He does a thing called Utopia Strong with Steve Davis.
And Covus himself is a musician.
He does a few things, like Gong and and a few other things. Like he makes like solo records as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So a deep musical heritage, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, me and him are both like music fans.
Yeah,
You know,
you always
I
have.
guess
It's in your
first
blood,
and foremost.
isn't it?
Yeah, when we were kids, because I grew up with him. You know, his parents brought me up. We were just obsessive. You know, about music. Buying it, you know, reading about it, talking about it, you know, obsessing over it. But we had two very kind of separate camps. He was from the heavy rock end of things, and I was kind of the two-tone / punk / indie.
I think our tastes are more similar. You know, I loved all the two-tone Younger On when I was younger, and when in fact our paths crossed again, didn't we? The Primal Scream era.
Absolutely.
I remember seeing them at the Hammersmith Palais. It was just amazing. You know?
Brilliant. The one of my favourite bands, I'd say, Primal Scream.
They're superb, aren't they? Well, I mean, fantastic. So that's your heritage. Mine more of a purveyor of vinyl. Just one other thing, we are both lovers of vinyl, but what I thought might be quite fun is that as we go through the magazines today, if we point out particular songs or artists being featured, I'm going to compile those all into a Spotify playlist, which you will be able to link to. It'll be in the description down below. Just click on the link. If you've got Spotify, that'll open up a link, and you can have those songs playing in the background whilst we have a look through the magazines. I think that might be quite fun.
Sounds good. Yeah,
brilliant. So without further ado then, what should we start first with? Flexi Pop and then go into the punks?
Yeah, well, Pauline Black is on the cover, a personal heroine of mine.
Indeed,
absolutely brilliant lady.
Great choice for the cover of number one.
I absolutely adore the Selector, like the original kind of stuff that they did before they split up and regrouped. Yeah,
that was peak two-tone for me.
Definitely,
I love
absolutely,
it. Excellent. Well, let's get to it. Right. So, first of all, then here we are. This is Flexi Pop. Now, it's important to say that these magazines are not available in your traditional high street newsagents or
they're not.
Smiths. They are not. Right. So these are mail order. Now there is actually a little advert at the back here for some of the other things that they've done. Vive Le Rock is the company, and there is their address there. But what I'll do, they obviously have a website, so I shall link to vivelerock.net in the description down below. You can see all the other stuff that they produce, and there's loads. There is one there. Look, there's Dance Craze one, specials one there.
Yeah, I bought the reissued Blu-ray recently.
Oh, of the movie. I bet that's good on Blu-ray, isn't it?
It's great. I had the original. Well, I still have the original album from way back.
I had that on VHS video, and it was a big box version.
Yeah,
you know, the old massive boxes of videos. I used to have that one on in that format. But first of all, like you say, Pauline Black on the front.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Absolutely. I love the Selector. I just think she's an amazing woman, Pauline Black. I've read her autobiography. She's an amazing writer as well. There's a recent documentary about her called Pauline Black, A Two-Tone Story. About her struggles and the way she brought all of that into her music. And Selector, I mean, just two-tone in general is a really big one for me. It's very important for me, growing up listening to all those bands.
Well, it was the soundtrack of our lives, as it were.
It sure was. I was kind of a little bit late to the party. It would pretty much died down by the time I started getting into music. So I backtracked. Madness were still going and they were riding high, but by the time I got into it, kind of most of the other groups, including the Specials, had kind of stopped. But they were doing their then bands like Special AKA and Funboy 3. But I mean, it wasn't just music for me. It was the kind of things that they discussed in their lyrics. Stuff. To do with racism or just day-to-day life, challenges that people face, just resonated with me in a big way, and it's stayed with me.
That's really good. That's really good. Well, this was, I suppose, when Flexi Pop came out, this was the gimmick. You got a free record with every issue.
Yay.
And this one is a Selector one, which is particularly appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Radio Mix Radio,
Have you played it?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah.
Flexi Pop #1.
Okay.
Do you recognise the track? Radio Mix Radio, is that the track or?
I'm not sure.
No. Okay.
I'm not sure what that would mean, really.
No.
Ready Mix Radio.
Yeah, we may. I guess we'll have to give that a spin. But
Yeah.
well, we'll look through the mag. So there's the editor there, Barry. Looks like that's his name. Yeah, Flexi Pop was mad, bad, and dangerous to know.
Yeah.
But it was fun indeed. Yeah. See, I remember it on the news racks.
I remember seeing
Definitely.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I may not have bought it because it wasn't cheap. But I do also remember when we had Purple Haze, which is the record shop in the 90s, we would get Flexi Pop records come in, and they would be quite, even back then, they'd be quite collectible in their own right. Nowadays, I did have a quick look before we filmed this, and you can find issues of Flexi Pop with the records. They're like £30 to £40 per issue.
Yeah.
So this is the issues 1 to 7. This is by far the cheapest way to do it. If you're not too worried about having the original records,
So do you get all 7 Flexi
I don't think so. I think there are different ones.
Yeah.
Because on the Facebook group, which is where I first found out about this, on the Facebook page, there was people saying, "Oh, I've got the selector and I'd like to swap it for the toy one," and things like that. So I think there are different ones. But the selector is the one I got anyway. So, and there we are. Oh, free selector record. Yeah. Look, so this was #1. There we are.
60p. Can you imagine that?
Oh, wow.
And it was a lot of money in those days.
It actually was, yeah.
You had to save up for that.
Most of my comics were like 12p or something Right, okay, Page 2 Gurn, Max Splooge. Yes. Okay, so this is the original. This is now the original magazine, I'm guessing. Yeah. That had a free jam record, a unique recording of the jam.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's with next month. Yeah. That would have been, because you do like the jam as well.
I love the jam, yeah.
It's funny, I'd still play
Wendy Wu from the Photos.
Yeah, Photo Feature.
They were a band that really should have got more recognition. I got into them in more recent years. I bought their soul album, The Photos. Have you heard of them?
No.
They're like a kind of cross between Blondie and the Ramones.
Okay.
Just really good melodic power pop.
Yeah,
just kind of punkish, but really, really melodic.
We'll add it to the first one on our playlist. Definitely.
So I can't believe there's literally a feature on The Photos. I've never read anything by them.
Okay.
They came to my attention via a power pop compilation, which I bought, and then I followed it up by buying their own album. So UFO. So what have we got here?
Is it unidentified flying object, UFO?
Is that the band UFO?
It must be,
yeah, like a heavy rock vibe. Yeah,
because this is just sort of music of this era, wasn't it? It's not specifically a genre.
No, but that's what was really good about those kind of magazines, is they just covered everything. You know? Smash Hits was great in those days.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't just a teeny bop throwaway thing. They covered a lot of different stuff.
Those early ones were great. The Smash Hits. No, I totally agree.
Yeah, and their reviews were really good, because sometimes they'd be really bitchy about a really famous band, and it was really funny as well. That had a great sense of humour, Smash Hits. So.
I certainly liked it.
Yeah.
This is Vivienne Westwood talks about her new look. Wowee. God, look how young she is, or was then back then.
Is that Vivienne
No, it must
Westwood?
be. That just must be a model.
Yeah.
In someone
or
modelling.
Or is that Annabelle Lewin from Bow Wow Wow?
That's Vivienne Westwood up there, isn't it? Yeah.
I think that's Annabelle from Bow Wow Wow,
Lyrics by Malcolm McLaren.
They were amazing. I love Bow Wow Wow. Very energetic.
These are weird, aren't they? These photo stories.
Yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Very much of their day, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, the specials. Yeah, we love a bit of that. Yeah, I saw their reunion concert at the Brixton Academy in 2009. All but one original. Jerry Dammers didn't want to do it. I don't really know why, but at that particular point, it was a pretty true representation of the original specials. With everybody on board. apart from Jerry Dammers.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, it's a shame, yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like Buster Blood. Yeah, look, Jules starring Buster Bloodvessel. a fatty romance. Buster settles down to breakfast.
Bless
Eating an
him.
entire pig there, like. You know.
Oh my God. They were all right.
Yeah.
What was your take on Bad Manners? Did you like them?
Just the hit, really. You know, what was it? Yeah, the can. Yeah, I found them surreal. I used to. Yeah, I mean, they did Top of the Pops. Let's be honest. You know, I mean,
At the time, I wasn't heavily into them. I always felt like they were the poor relations of the Two-Tone family.
I agree. Yeah.
They didn't have the. I mean, you know, let's face it. Bless him, Buster Bloodvessel. He's not got the looks of, you know, Terry and Neville from the Specials.
Yeah,
you know, it wasn't a good-looking front man.
Or Suggs, even. Yeah.
Or Suggs, or Carl. You know, or Pauline Black. So, you know, in those days,
approach.
like, you know, you went for the whole package, didn't you? The look and, you know, Bad Manners, I think they kind of played on the kind of the fact that they didn't look amazing. But yeah, kind of later on, I started to appreciate them. You know, I bought Walking in the Sunshine at the time.
All right, yeah.
That's not one of the ones that gets a lot of attention. It did really well in the charts as well, but when people say Bad Manners, it always tends to be Lip Up Fatty or Special Brew or the one you mentioned, Can.
Yeah,
but
that's it. That is the
Walking
big
in the
ones,
Sunshine, I think that got in the top 5. It's
We shall definitely add it to the playlist.
a really nice reggae track,
okay,
you know. And everyone goes on about ska. Oh, it's ska. But, you know, a lot of those bands did just really good reggae, including the Specials, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
They were all great players, you know, of reggae music.
Back to his first love, Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Oh, there she is. Look, there she is.
Oh,
Wendy Wu.
fantastic.
I think it may
Check them out.
Yeah, okay. Will do.
If you want to put, if there is like something on Spotify,
Sure there will be,
the kind of go-to track is Irene. That's
by
a really
Wendy
good
Wu,
track.
yeah?
By the Photos.
Oh, okay, the Photos. And Wendy Wu was in it,
the lead singer of the Photos.
Okay, right.
Yeah, very, very good British band that really should have. I mean, Wendy Wu should have been a star.
Yeah.
That's in my humble opinion.
Well, she was in Double Page there. In,
For a brief moment in time. Oh, and it's Madness.
It's Madness timeline here. So it's got all the band, and it's got their name, date of birth, place of birth, previous job.
And again, all but one are still going in Madness.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Chaz left in about 2015, which was really sad. I thought he'd come back, but he hasn't. But everyone else is still in it.
Amazing, and doing great guns. The Madness gig
I'm
is
off
still
to see them.
fantastic, isn't
again
it?
next month. Yeah.
For the upteenth time.
Absolutely, I've seen them a lot of times.
Indeed. So the Jam. The Jam lists their favourite current records.
Yeah.
Look at that, Paul Weller.
Oh, loads of two Susie songs.
Tracks, See, I love Happy House. That's obviously one of the hits, I know, but
and Cut by the Slits.
Yeah.
Loads of good stuff there. Sex Pistols. Oh, bit of Michael Jackson in there.
That's an unusual choice, isn't it? Yeah.
But I'm glad he picked the Slits. I love that album, Cut.
Yeah.
And Rick likes Susie and the Banshees as well. XTC. Oh, he's picked a Jam song as well. Is that allowed? Are you allowed to pick your own records? The
maybe,
Clash as well. And the Slits.
He's probably very proud. It did get to number 1, didn't it? Going underground. I seem to recall. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, all three of them had like similar tastes.
Good choice.
They've all picked Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I love the Jam.
Good stuff. The Wax Factory. God, this is just filled with nostalgia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just brilliant. This.
Okay, got. I haven't got the others.
Oh, okay. We
More
won't mention
specials
Gary
and
Newman.
the
Special
XTC
publicity.
album.
Yeah.
I love a bit of XTC.
Little caricature of Kate Bush there.
Yeah, looks really cool.
Paul
Actually,
Souden, yeah.
yeah, it looks kind of almost AI.
She did have big hair. That looks like a little bit from that leotard photo shoot. Remember that one? And we'll go no more there. You know the one.
I don't.
Do you not know? It was quite
actually,
famous because
Yeah.
she evidently was not wearing a bra.
Good lord.
So I know it was a bit risque for this channel, but you know.
Matron.
And that was number one. Well, I tell you what, if I'd have bought number one, I would have loved it.
Yeah. I would have definitely bought that as a kid, I reckon. Yeah.
Definitely. So this is issue 2, which came with the Jam record. That would have been
Motorhead and Susie and the Damned. Oh, don't get me started on the Damned. I love the Damned, baby. And Susie and the Banshees. Two of my favourite bands. And I see like the Damned and Susie and the Banshees as very sort of influential in that whole thing of, you can be punk, but try doing different stuff as well.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's not all about just this formulaic 3-chord nosebleed stuff. You know, you can vary your palette, you know. And the Damned did some amazing you know, kind of experimental, I suppose you'd call it, but not in the cliched use of experimental, not like John Cage or Philip Glass, but do you know what I mean? But just literally experimenting with different types of music, like on the Black album, ditto Susie and the Banshees. Juju is an amazing album. Juju and Kaleidoscope are, I'd call those albums psychedelic, really, you know.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They've got the ethos of punk, but with the kind of the musical, adventurous kind of attitude of musically adventurous attitude of psychedelia, like, you know, thrown into it. And you could include the Jam in that as well. I was just listening to one of their tracks earlier this morning, Tales from the Riverbank, which is a B-side of I think it was Absolute Beginners.
Okay.
Again, very psychedelic, you know, very sort of, you know, poetic lyrics. Amazing stuff.
Cool. I was just going back there, the Hazel O'Connor strip there with, of course, Breaking Glass, the film was out around this time, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
That's where that one comes in.
I saw that years later. I didn't see it at the time.
I may have seen it the late 80s.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I saw it. I'd like to revisit that one, actually.
Yeah.
It's probably been remastered at some point now. I see Slade in Flame has been remastered.
Yeah,
I'm looking
I'd
forward
love
to watching
see
that one.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Yeah, I think that would be
love to go and watch
magic, that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so interesting photos there, definitely.
Is that Paul Weller, is it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Love a bit of Weller.
Yeah, he came in Purple Haze.
Really? Bloody hell.
He was they were down. He was supporting. Was it Noel Gallagher in the pavilions?
Wow.
Yeah, and he just casually around.
As in Noel Gallagher did a solo gig, did he?
Yeah, he was touring. Yeah.
Really?
And he was doing the support. I'm sure it was him. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Should have been the other way around, really.
Or maybe it was. I don't know. I can't remember.
Noel Gallagher should be supporting him. Cheeky git.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't remember.
But they are really good mates.
Don't forget that was in the 90s, and Oasis were riding very high.
Oh,
at that
absolutely.
Point.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why he did it. And he was coming on to his sort of he was quite big solo back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, he kind of. He dropped out of the radar in the late 80s and early 90s, and was playing a lot of small venues and just trying to get his kind of thing back on. And then I think Wildwood basically got him noticed again. Yeah. And then by the time he did Stanley Road with the Changing Man.
Yeah.
In fact,
that was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his first million seller.
Oh, right. Wow.
Very surprised, with the like Jam being so big.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, that's when he kind of like got his thing, going properly, with like kind of a decent kind of audience or whatever.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, never as good as the Jam.
No.
But, God bless him. He's still doing his thing.
Still do it. This is an interview with Andy McCluskey of OMD.
OMD, yeah. I quite like them.
Yeah. didn't get into them too much. Now, what is going on here? Sting and the police.
A very dodgy photo of is that Andy Summers
I think it is
or
Andy.
Stuart Copeland?
I think it's Andy.
Andy Summers, yeah. Bit of a dodgy shot there.
Yeah, they needed to have the milk bottle slightly to the left. And this is looks like an interview with Adam Ant. It's only a one-pager, so just a few. Must
have been before he took off, or they took off, because otherwise it would have been a little bit more, a lot more page.
It may be more as we go along, as they become slightly bigger. But I mean, the police, we forget how big they were, really.
Yeah, I was never really that keen on them.
No,
you know,
had a lot of hits, didn't they?
Yeah,
a lot of hits.
I did buy one album. I bought Ghost in the Machine.
Oh yeah, okay.
The one with it. I like Invisible Sun.
Yeah, that is a great track.
Yeah, it's a non-typical hit. I mean, I think it got to number 1 or.
Yeah, I think it was a hit. Yeah,
we'll but it just sounds
certainly that.
So kind of really sad and kind of well, I don't know what you'd call it really, but not like an anthemic number 1 kind of song. But I thought it was a great song, you know.
A little bit on ABBA there. So facts on ABBA, and then the best questions with Motorhead here.
Yeah.
Like their favourite records again.
ZZ Top, The Damned, yes.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, Lemmy stood in for The Damned once. Yeah, he was mates with them. Who else is he like? Girls' School, all The Police, Sex Pistols, Quo, Cream, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Hendrix, all Small Faces. Yeah. That's Filthy. Is it Filthy Taylor? Was that his real name? Not real name, obviously, but that is his kind of stage name. Yeah.
And Street Life by the Crusaders.
Yeah.
Great track. I love that one.
Interesting choice.
I might stick that one on our playlist just for fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Rat Van Winkle. Okay.
Who's that?
I don't know. It all seems long ago now. I remember.
Wait a minute. Oh, right. Rat Scabies out of The Damned.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. So that's like a play on words or something. Yeah. So this would have been what year was this issue?
I think it was 81, was it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it was on the cover here.
Say The Damned would have done the Black Album by then, I guess.
They don't give the cover date.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if Adam and the Ants is in it, then I guess it would have been 1980 or 81, probably. Yeah.
This one's Susie, Testament of Youth. A few like little questions, Q&A there with Susie. The Baroness. Don't know anything about that. No, don't know where that's come from.
No, I don't know that one.
No, that one's gone over our heads.
Yeah.
The Wax Factor. So this is like potted reviews then of the latest records.
Francis Rossi.
With another little caricature. Yeah. Okay. Right, number 3.
Oh, so it's Bob Geldof.
Bob Geldof on the back cover.
Yeah.
So the Flexi was the Boomtown Rats. For number 3.
Okay.
Sex Pistols reunited. Queen competition. Adam Ant, Spandau Ballet.
I don't remember them reuniting.
No. Well, this is what the magazine says. So we shall see.
They reunited in '96, but yeah.
Oh look, they did a little Flexi disc holder to hold your collection.
Oh, great.
Very cool. There's the jam one there. You might need to have these out now, Arash. You might get a taste for it.
Fantastic, yeah.
But we'll fly
I haven't got a lot of Flexi discs, actually. No. I've got one, like a Madness one that came with a tour program.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a Smash Hits one.
Yeah.
With,
I remember having one for Funboy 3.
Yeah.
Did they do We Are Detectives?
No, that was Thompson Twins.
Okay, it was the Thompson Twins.
Yeah,
and the reason and what it was a Flexi disc on a computer magazine.
Oh yeah,
and the Thompson Twins had a computer game.
Computer game,
and it was the game on the thing. So you had to hook your record player up to your computer. And it would play the program in for you.
Awesome.
Like, But at the
Pete
start,
Shelley
it had,
did that.
had We Are Detectives.
Yeah. Pete Shelley from Buzzcocks did a Spectrum. He put, in fact, I've got the album. The last track on it, I think it was Excel. It's called. The last track on it is that that noise the Spectrum.
Right.
And if you plugged your computer, your Spectrum into it, it would play a Pete Shelley, whatever it was.
I might leave that off the Spotify playlist.
Yeah. People might think it's some avant-garde experimental kind of track.
Was this by Yoko Ono or someone like that? Okay, Richard Jobson of the Skids is this photo.
Interesting name.
Dear.
The Skids.
Yeah, the Skids. Yeah. Here they are, the Pistols.
All right.
Johnny Rotten, Steve Jones, Glenn Matlock. They're just sort of answering questions.
Yeah. So it's not really reunited.
No,
it's
it says now in public image limited and signed to Virgin. Oh well.
I met Glenn Matlock 3 years ago.
Oh, this
really
guy here.
Nice chap. Yeah. Lovely guy.
Amazing.
I had a nice chat with him before his solo acoustic set at Things Happen Here in Dartington, venue that I also play at.
Right.
I DJ at that same venue. And I went up to him and had a little chat, and he signed my copy of Spunk by the Sex Pistols.
Oh, brilliant.
Which was the album that he did play on before they booted him out in favour of poor old Sydney, as John Lydon says, poor old Sydney. Spunk was like the sort of demos. It sounds, I guess amongst the kind of punker than thou brigade, that's a more truer representation of the Pistols. It's more raw, not so kind of polished as Nevermind. But what I love about Nevermind the Bollocks is I don't mind the fact that it's really polished and well produced. It sounds really big.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas I guess like some of the more punky guys are a bit more kind of what's the word for it? They're more into the kind of authentic representation of punk. They see the actual Soul Pistols LP as too commercial, too well produced, but I'm all right with that. You know, it sounds great when you turn it up, because Steve Jones literally layered, I don't know how many, 20, 30, 40 kind of guitar lines, just overdubbed, to make it sound really big. Whereas the Spunk LP hasn't got that. It's just basically a raw demo sounding album. And the good thing about it is Glenn Matlock is on that. So, I've now got a signed copy by Glenn Matlock, which I'm very chuffed with. I'm defo a fanboy of, just musicians I like,
this is an interview. It looks like
Spandau Ballet.
Are being interviewed. Which is very cool. And Paul Diano.
Iron Maiden. There
he is with Eddie.
You see, I've got a bit of a knowledge of metal just through covers. I didn't like him because he was buying so much metal that I knew about it. So if Paul Diano's being interviewed, this was would have been pre Number of the Beast, so it would have been like 81. And I like Stray Cats as well.
Brilliant.
I thought they were great.
There she is.
Paul Diano died recently, the original singer of Iron Maiden.
All right. There's the lovely Debbie Harry. Little photo shoot.
And Clem Burke, obviously, he sadly passed. Amazing drummer.
She's got a little crossword and stuff, and they were fans of the old picture strip, weren't they?
So who's this story about? He was a super smoothie out to make a fast buck.
Bow Wow Wow.
Oh, really?
Starring Teenage Wonders, Bow Wow Wow.
So they would have actually posed for these,
like a picture.
They didn't just get random pictures of them and kind of
made a story out of it. Well, I doubt it. I think they probably would have.
AI hadn't been invented then.
These would have been posed.
You'd have to actually, But yeah, I guess any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. Terry Hall of the Specials.
Hey.
So this is born 19th of March 59. So it's just a little interview with him.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love that man.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted when he died.
He genius. Really.
Heartbroken, yeah.
Okay. Boomtown Rats. Yeah, they were on the cover. This is their issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, they kind of passed me by a bit, really.
Yeah. So there's Adam Ant, the great Adam Ant, and he's in his more traditional. Well, was he a pirate? What was
Bless him.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, even when I was a kid, I just found him a bit naff, you know.
Yeah.
But I appreciated his music a bit later on in life. But I don't know, because you know, when you're a kid, you tend to, well, especially around that time, like music was such a big deal. It was a real kind of tribalistic thing, wasn't it? You kind of had your little corner of this is what I do.
Yeah.
You had your metalers, you know, you had your two-tone kind of, but I was too young to like be in a gang of kind of people who liked a certain thing. But in my own head, in my own kind of world, I had my kind of boundaries.
Sure.
And I loved, you know, the two-tone stuff because it was just so real.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
And the way those guys dressed, do you know what I mean? They just looked impeccable. You know, they spoke about social issues.
Yeah.
You know, but with sharp suits. Do you know what I mean? And they looked absolutely banging. Whereas you had someone like Adam Ant in this kind of like naff.
Pirate
Kind
outfit.
of, yeah, and it was. I remember. I think it was in Looking or Tops magazine. Do you remember Tops?
I don't remember Tops. I remember
They used to do a weekly cartoon story about him, where he's like each week he's transformed in a different time zone, and he's like 1 minute he's Prince Charming, and I'm like, do me a favour. But later on, I'm like, oh bless him. Do you know what I mean? I like his music. You know, I bought Kings of the Wild Frontier when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, right.
Even though I was like 11 when it came out.
Yeah, well, that's when I bought it. When I was 11, there was one track.
I didn't like him at the time, but I think he's all right now. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember from Kings of the Wild Frontier there was one track, something about mentioning the Planet of the Apes, and I will find out which one it is and stick it on the
Picasso.
Yeah, that's
the Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
Oh, I used to really like that track. That
that's
was my
the other thing
that it wasn't a hit. It was just an album track, but it was just a good one.
That whole kind of pretentious thing of like, oh, we're so arty. Do you know what I mean? Like, just doing all these kind of naughty titles like Whipping My Valise. It's like, do me a favour, governor.
Their first one was it Young Parisians.
Yeah, that's a good track. Yeah. Some of the
Before
stuff
they got really big.
That's right. Because I remember when you really blew up, around the time of Amp Music, all these other singles like started to appear in the lower end of the charts, and Young Parisians was one, and
really early one. Yeah.
Car Trouble and Deutsche Girls.
Oh yeah, Deutsche
It's
Girls,
all stuff that he'd done before, like with the various like lineups of whatever. Girls, So they all started to kind of resurface. I preferred some of those songs to the really obvious stuff.
Oh wow, brilliant.
Yeah, but bless him. I've got nothing against him. I think he did a great thing. He brought a lot of like theatre into pop music. He was very charismatic. Great songwriting. You know, Marco Perrone was a fantastic, you know, guitar player. Great band.
Superb, yeah.
But at the time, do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, do me a favour.
I don't fancy it.
Yeah.
So these are...
Oh, yes.
Jam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got sound.
You're not mentioning Visage?
I haven't got it. I like Fade to Grey, but I don't really know any of their other stuff. But
no, I remember Fade to Grey being a big hit when we were younger.
Sound Effects and the Black album by The Damned. Oh, yes,
now
sir.
You're talking.
Yeah.
But look, so Auto American, I remember getting that one. I mean,
so this would have been 1980.
Huge one, that, yeah.
Then with my nerdish kind of
knowledge of dates.
Knowledge of dates.
1980, that's about right. That's about right.
Yeah.
Johnny Rahn there. Well, that's a great picture of him there.
That is a really cool picture.
It's a really good one. Oh, Brendan McCarthy.
Oh, who's that?
Well, he was the guy who went on to co-create Tank Girl.
Oh,
that artist, yeah, that's
cool.
why it's so good.
Yeah,
I reckon.
there you go.
His artwork is very saturated.
Yeah.
And that is just like that.
That
I've never
does
seen
look
that before.
amazing,
It's
actually.
really good. Yeah. That's the tank goat.
That's the sort of thing you'd want on your wall, really, wouldn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah.
Absolutely. And there we are, like number 4. So a bit more Adam, and
More Adam.
You've got an
As you
Adam and
can
a
see,
Jan's Flexi.
his career's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. In the first issue, there's like a little snippet, then
page,
there's a bit more, and then suddenly, hey, he's on the front cover.
He is on the front cover, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because he just got kind of, more and more massive by the week, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one's got an interview with Madness, I see, as well. So let's just flick through. So page 2, Gurn is Debbie Harry making a face. Yeah, your flexi disc is Adam and the Ants. Yeah, it doesn't actually say what one it was. I'm sure I could look that up and see what they were.
I'm surprised they didn't include the actual kind of disc for every issue.
Well, I mean, it'll probably be too expensive, I suppose, But at least you got one, which is really cool. It's really cool.
So what have we got here?
A holiday in the life of Spandau Ballet. Look at
the budgie smugglers.
It's of their day, yeah.
Spandau budgie.
Yeah. Spandau budgie. Okay. Yeah.
More Sting.
Yeah.
And who have we got here? What's that thing at the bottom there?
Saxon.
Oh, Saxon.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Not, that's a line I would not cross into Saxon. I know a bit about metal, like I say, because of our aforementioned cousin / brother, but I don't think even he got into Saxon territory. No.
A bit more of a Sting, of course. You forget that was part of their popularity.
Yeah.
There was 3 young, good-looking guys.
Yeah, especially Sting. Yeah, he was a very good-looking guy, and he really kind of played up to the camera, didn't he?
Yeah, he could have been a model even.
Yeah, you can see in that shot, he's very much loving the whole experience. Yeah.
And play guitar and instruments was just a bonus.
Yeah.
And so there's Suggs there, a great bowler hat on. So what does it say? It's just more like a piece about Madness.
Yeah.
Rather than any sort of interview.
Yeah. Dave Wakeling of the Beat,
He gets shell-shocked, okay.
Love the Beat.
And then Fergal Sharkey of the Undertones.
Fantastic, love the Undertones also.
Yes, indeed. He always tried to beat me at Subbuteo.
Because he something the kick and I didn't know. He flicked the kick, yeah.
That was the one, yeah.
My favourite line is Ma bought him a synthesizer, got the Human League into advisor.
Oh yeah. That is another great line. Back usually sold out. Well, not anymore, because finally, after all these years,
now it's back.
We're back. Flexi Pop is most definitely back. Yeah. Nice picture of David Bowie there.
It looks very un-David Bowie-like doesn't he? If I hadn't seen that and someone showed me that picture, I wouldn't have guessed it's David Bowie.
But he was the sort of guy who reinvented himself by the week.
He did,
sort of guy.
He was very much... as a precursor to Adamant, I guess, because he had all the weird and wacky costumes and stuff.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Flexipop's fun page. Okay. So Buster Bloodvessel gets interviewed here, or his favourites, blowout favourites. So Buster's favourite foods and favourite restaurant. Number 1 is McDonald's.
Oh.
Number 2, goldfish food. Okay, pickled onions, doner kebabs. We best stop there.
He's clearly mucking about.
Clearly having a laugh, isn't he?
Yeah.
The Stranglers. Fallout in a fallout shelter.
Oh, is that a picture story?
Yeah, it looks like a picture story of the Stranglers now.
It's funny because you think of, a band like the Stranglers as this kind of, these serious guys,
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine them agreeing to
That's crazy,
a picture story. Yeah.
Well, it's all publicity, I suppose, at the time,
Yeah.
So the Baroness again. She seems to be something to do with
Baroness.
She must be something to do with the magazine.
Right.
And here she's with Buster Bloodvessel.
And a rare photo of him with hair.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
I've never ever seen him with. I mean, even though it's a grade 1, but it's still hair, isn't it?
It is still hair.
You don't usually see him with hair at all.
No.
he was maybe contemplating, you know, maybe toying with the idea of, shall I grow some hair? And then shortly after that, he was like, nah. Let's get back to the classic look.
The police sort of facts.
God, they're obsessed with the bloody police.
Well,
every other page, police.
They were big stars. Paul Weller, here we are. Paul Weller writes exclusively for Flexi Pop on the state of television today.
Oh, I bet he doesn't pull any punches either.
No, any comedy programs about working class either show them as dirty, unwashed, thicko losers like Steptoe and Son, criminals porridge, silly radicals, Sitson Smith, or crass black splotches on a clean bourgeois horizon.
Good
Georgia
for you,
Mildred.
Paul. Yeah, good for you. No, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Now this
I'm
is
absolutely
a period
100% with his politics and his music, you know.
Look at this advert. So these adverts were everywhere, weren't they? These were like, you could get a full-size poster or print.
Oh, these
were like
posters are there, yeah.
Of your favourites.
£1.50.
Look at that one of Hazel O'Connor there. I don't know if she's smiling or grimacing.
It's hard to tell.
It is. That's what I mean. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Yeah.
You know.
And one the poster mainly made up of Kate Bush's hair. Oh well. Right. So this is the reviews again. The Wax Factor. So we got UFO, Boomtown Rats.
Yeah.
Splodgeness Abounds.
Yeah, they did 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please.
Right. Yeah. Styx, Paradise Theatre.
Yeah.
It's a nice album jacket. Got some interesting choices there.
So out of that lot, who do I like? Who's at the top? What's that?
That's UFO.
Oh, right. No, they're not.
Wild, Willing and Innocent.
Elvis Costello, like him. Generation X, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a Billy Idol fan, but definitely Generation X.
You never got into Yes?
No.
Flexi Pop says...
Did I get into Yes? No. Sorry.
Flexi Pop says absolute crap. There you go. So there you go.
See, that's what I loved about those times, Jules, is that even the most commercial kind of like magazines, you could be bitchy.
They didn't mind.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you had to tell it like you saw it.
Because music was making like so much money that people didn't care about upsetting people. You know, you could go on like a mainstream TV show or a mainstream magazine and just diss people, and nobody batted an eyelid. Do you know what I mean? Because next week, you know, you'd just be carrying on with what you were doing. Now, if you do it, because the music industry's on its arse, and I'm going to try not to rant, but it's like everybody has to stick together and be nice and play nicely because we're all in it together. And I think it was a lot more interesting when it was bitchy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fair enough, yeah.
Paul Weller once said, he said quite recently, and I would just like to say a disclaimer, you'll probably edit this out, we do not condone violence in any way. He said it as a joke. He said, I want to see more punch-ups at gigs. That's when music was more exciting.
Well, there you go.
He's exaggerating to make a point, but I think what he means is, you know, that time where it was just so important. You had your little kind of camps and, you know, I belong to this, you belong to that, and it was all bitchy, but it was fun, you know? You didn't have to kind of say everything's good.
No, you know? Fair enough. That's good. Well, this is the working week of Adamant, by the looks of it, what he does in his typical week. A week of pirating and looting and kind of being a highwayman and... Indeed, you
know, Tuesday...
And being dandy.
Being dandy. Tuesday held up a stagecoach, you know, and said, stand and deliver.
All part of the routine. Yes. And this I see, look, this was a Flexi Pop special that they did on Adamant. They did a poster magazine. Yeah. Can you believe it?
So by now, he's definitely riding high.
He is huge.
By this issue, he's now really, really taken off big time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So on to the next issue, number 5 or 7, and it's a Bad Manners cover with a Bad Manners flexi disc. Yeah. We shall say no more. Your flexi. Here we are.
And it's Buster Blood Vessel covered with baked beans.
Yeah, he was probably loving it. Okay, let's just carry on. So Motorhead were the photo strip story this week.
Great. Fantastic.
Oh, you couldn't make it up, could you?
Oh, look forward to reading these in
yeah. Obviously, we are just flicking through.
Yes.
But I've been loving it. So, Freddie, interview with Freddie. Yeah. Our feature. Yeah. So this is a little interview with Freddie Mercury.
I don't think
we haven't had a lot of Queen content.
I don't think you could get away with wearing a Flash T-shirt these days.
No.
Or coming up with a movie and a song called Flash.
Well, obviously, there was the Flash Gordon track, wasn't it, at the time? Yeah. Stranger Than Fiction. Steve Strange, the punk with peacock power.
Yeah.
Okay. Why he's weird and wonderful.
Well, fair play
Company
to
Rejects.
him. Fade to Grey's absolute stone cold classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know much else by him really.
No, that's it.
I think The Anvil. That's the only other.
Didn't he pass away a couple of years ago?
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, bless him.
Cockney Rejects. That's the first time we've seen them in Flexi Pop, isn't it? So far.
Yeah, again, not really my territory.
No,
not my particular brand of punk.
Julian Cope. Teardrop Explode.
Yeah, love them.
Yeah,
love a bit of Copey.
Testament of You. So this is where they look back at someone's early life, mid-year, of Ultravox.
Yeah.
A quiz page there.
Flexi Pop fun page.
Yeah, there's an advert for Bad
Just
Manners.
a Feeling. That was a great song.
Yeah,
that was a really good song.
one. Shall we add that one to the playlist?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of their best, I reckon.
Brilliant.
Because again, like I was saying, at the time, you know, they were perceived by some as this kind of jokey OTT kind of band with but they wrote some really nice songs, you know. Just a Feeling, Walking in the Sunshine. Yeah,
good stuff. Stray Cats,
fantastic. Yes, well deserved. That debut self-titled album is amazing.
Stray Cats. Any particular track off it?
Rock This Town.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah,
all three singles.
Good. Yeah, was it Stray
Runaway
Cats,
Boys, Stray Cats, Strut, Rock This Town. But the whole album's really good. It works really well as an album. Yeah. Very, very good indeed.
I haven't played that in decades. I'll be giving that one a spin.
Yeah.
Talking Heads. Yeah. Okay.
Well, me and my cousin, who we were talking about earlier on, ARASH Torabi of Gong fame and whatnot, me and him bought our first singles and our first albums simultaneously. My first single and his first single, mine was Madness, his was Stray Cats, and our first albums exactly the same.
Really?
Mine was absolutely by Madness, his was the debut album by Stray Cats.
There you go.
So they were the only records in the house, and we played them over and over and over and over again, drove the grown-ups nuts. And I know literally every note of that Stray Cats album.
Brilliant.
And obviously the Madness album, which is the one that I bought.
Brilliant.
Talking Heads
with XTC.
XTC Picture Story.
Yeah,
bloody hell.
They got some really obscure people to do.
It's just the kind of bands that you wouldn't expect. No. Well, not that you'd expect any band to do a picture story, but XTC.
That's the Baroness.
That's the Baroness again. The mysterious Baroness.
She disposed of the Blob, and now her arch foe, the Yob. I don't know who it is. Who is the Yob? Probably someone who worked at the magazine. You wait and see. He's defacing a Cliff Richard poster there.
The Yob. All right. So maybe he's like a made-up character as well.
Quite possibly, yeah. Okay. Toya.
Oh, it's Toya.
We've not seen a lot for her. Sheena Easton,
two very different ladies,
you could
side
say
by
that,
side. Sheena Easton's the kind of smooth kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, For Your Eyes Only. That's the one and only
smooth
hit I
kind
know
of James
her,
Bondy kind of lady, whereas Toya Wilcox is I'm gonna go wild and crazy.
I don't know if you've come across her channel on YouTube, but it's quite something.
I saw she was doing like videos with her husband, Robert Fripp. I saw a couple of those.
They're fun.
Like, during lockdown.
They're all right. I tell you, she's quite. I didn't think she was great on. What was it, Dancing with the Stars or something she was on, which my wife watches. I hasten to add. However, Toya on her own channel, like you say with Robert, is great.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. I really
did
recommend
see a couple
it.
of
You know?
clips,
Yeah.
like
They're all
during
right.
lockdown, they were kind of
She's
posting
great fun.
stuff.
I like her energy. Yeah, I think that's the thing I really
She's
do.
great in Quadrophenia.
That's right. Yeah, she's a good actress. Actually.
Yeah,
She's a good actress. She's in one of the Quatermass, the final Quatermass on ITV when she's in there as well.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, Hazel O'Connor again. The same advert for posters.
Oh yeah.
With Hazel O'Connor with her slightly
tiny millimeter-sized thumbnails of the posters.
Yeah. Right, Wax Factor. What have we got this month?
Right,
So we got the Stray
here we
Cats.
go.
By the Stray Cats. We were just talking about it.
Got.
We were just talking. That's the album we were just talking about. Well, the Phil Collins is worthy of note because that was also a big album from Unky Phil. Yeah. Killers by Iron Maiden.
But at the time, I would be going, "Oi,
yeah.
Collins, no!
Yeah, you keep your album.
I will not feel it in the air tonight." But hey, Celebrate the Bullet, fantastic album.
Yeah.
And it's really sad because that's when they started to die commercially. Like nobody bought it. I think there was just one single off the album, the like self-titled, and that flopped. But yeah, those two classic
Look
albums.
at what Flexi Pop says about the Phil Collins album. It says, Flexi Pop says, boring, balding bozo betrays banality beyond belief.
Fantastic. That's pretty much how I see him. I'm afraid.
That is hilarious. Right. Okay. So we've got we're almost at the end.
Phil
here.
Lynott. Is it Lynott or Lynott?
I would say Phil Lynott.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. That's his working week with Phil Lynott, Thin Lizzy. Kate Bush was on the back page there.
And there's that Pretenders, isn't it? Yeah.
Cool, yeah, it is the Pretenders. You spotted that quick. Yeah, I didn't recognise Chrissy Hynde.
You can see Adamant's career just soar. Now is a pin-up.
He's a colour
Adamant colour pin-up. You don't see a Lemmy pin-up in there, do
no,
you?
it is true. But next month we are getting a Motorhead Flexi.
Yay!
That's cool. Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden picture still. Oh my God. I'll have to take a picture of that and send it to Archivus. You'll find that very funny.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant, actually. Trifles.
So, is that Dave Vanian or is that... oh no, it's Tony Hadley from Spandau Ballet. How could I confuse Tony Hadley for Dave Vanian? I don't know. It's me age.
Me age, governor. Vicious. It's on
Poor old Sydney.
John Beverly, A.K. Sid Vicious.
Not a fan of him. I'm afraid he's, brought out the sort of the negative side of punk.
Yeah.
He had no talent.
No.
They just basically got him in because he was doing stupid things and he looked outrageous. Couldn't play.
No.
Couldn't play the bass. Couldn't write songs.
He was just for show almost.
Yeah. Very
Fair
abusive
enough.
kind of guy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's sad that he died young.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking that anybody would die at the age of what was he, 21,
He was
something
young.
like that.
He was very young.
Heartbreaking, but it's just not a true representation of punk for me.
No.
Wild Thing. Now
Kim
we're
Wilde,
talking.
yeah.
I love Kim Wilde. That first album. Oh my God, I love it so much.
Yeah. Any particular track?
Well, again, like just to be really boring, all three singles.
Yeah.
Especially Checkered Love.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, Kids in America.
That was the one I remember.
That's the classic, and enough respect to Kids in America. That's the one that literally broke her. But for me, Checkered Love.
Okay, that's the one we'll stick on the playlist.
That's
then,
the one.
Checkered
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Cheap Thrills. How to Survive Dole Q Blues by Simon Le Bon.
Oh, you can see Duran kind of creeping in there now. Yeah,
absolutely. This is very early Duran.
So this would have been early '81. Yeah, because that's around the time Kim Wilde started to
appear as
well. Yeah.
Chairman of the Bold.
Classics Nouveau.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Hazel O'Connor questions. Little comic strip here. The Adventures of Trunky the Toilet. Okay. We'll leave that as is.
Bit random.
Oh dear, God, that's a terrible photo.
Oh, a rare picture of our Gaza smiling.
Yeah, that
Good
is,
God.
I know.
Who'd have thought it, eh?
Retired hooligan Rick Parfitt of Status Quo. So that was another one.
Retired hooligan.
Testament of youth.
Hey, I'm not a hooligan anymore. I've
Oh,
retired.
look, it's a double-page spread of Adamant again.
Yeah, and again without too much makeup and grinning.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very unusual.
Very
Holding
unlike
a
him at the
rose.
time. Yeah.
Rockabilly Ripper. Oh, this is the Baroness again.
Right.
With
Okay.
the polecats.
Oh, the polecats. I've met one of them.
Yeah.
Boz Bora, who used to play guitar for Morrissey. He's got a record shop in Camden.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was there a few years ago, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, who's from Camden originally, but she doesn't live there now. And she told me, like, oh, that record shop there, Boz Bora works in there. So I said, oh, it would be good to go in there. I reckon,
might as well check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't buy a record off him, but he had the basement, and there was another shop on the ground floor where I bought a mod compilation of like 60s mod bands.
Oh, nice.
But I went to the basement bit, and he was there, and yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but he was originally in the Polecats.
Oh, there you go.
Which is how I got onto my little silly story there.
Brilliant. Okay, letters to the Baroness, a Q&A, and then some quizzes.
Yeah, I'd be interested to find out about this Baroness, I think.
Yeah. I think she was just like
Gary Newman
just
back to looking serious.
Yeah, like an android. So we got the posters, then we got, what's this Flexi Pop? I'm not sure what they are.
Are these badges or posters?
They're nice sort of posters. I don't know. Top quality t-shirts of the police. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Dave Wakeling, yes.
Of the Beat, and Dave Coverdale of White.
Two very different Daves.
Yes, yes indeed.
That's the Dave that I go for.
Yeah, okay.
That's definitely my kind of Dave, yeah. Love him to bits.
Brilliant. School nickname was Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
Then this month's reviews, so
Let's see if I've got anything on this page.
Intuition by Lynx.
I liked it. I liked that song. I never bought it though.
No. Adventures of Thin Lizzy.
Haven't got it.
Okay. Ellen Foley, Spirit of St. Louis.
Yeah. That's The Who, isn't it?
The Who, Face Dances.
I haven't got it, but I've got tracks from it. That's the closest I get on this page. It's a bit disappointing, really, because the previous pages I was going, oh, got that.
Not a great month.
Oh, Gang of Four. I've got an album by them, but not that one.
Not Solid Gold.
Their first one. Okay. I just recently started getting into them. I'm in a covers band, and our guitarist suggested that we do a Gang of Four song,
right?
And I'm like, do you know what? That might actually give me the kick up the backside to finally get into them, because they've been on my kind of radar for years. I'm like, why don't I have any of their records? You know, I've got loads of other post-punk stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But what would you reckon as a suggested track for Gang of Four?
Do you know what?
None?
My mind's gone blank. I'm trying to remember the name of the track that we're hoping to cover, which is the reason I bought that first album. And my mind's gone completely blank. It's not that album anyway.
Maybe you can message me when you
the album's called Entertainment. And when I get back into my car, because the CDs is I'll text you the name of the song.
Excellent. The working week is with Sting, this issue.
Again, more Sting.
I know, yeah.
See, notice how I don't say, oh, not more Paul Weller, or not more Suggs, because I like both of them.
And there's
Brian Ferry looking Mr. Smooth.
Mr. Smooth.
All shirtless and kind of nicely combed hair.
Yeah. And then the last issue, we're coming to, this is the last one of this issue.
Yeah.
And God, it's great, isn't it? So let's dive in.
So Motorhead, they had a thing for Motorhead, didn't they?
They certainly did.
Really did,
more than you might think. Yeah.
Yeah, because they only had like one big hit, didn't they?
Yeah. You could get Adam gear, an Adam jacket,
God.
or his PVC trousers.
Can you imagine all these kids hassling their parents? That's actually cruel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine loads of kids going, Mum, can I have that for my birthday? I want to be like Adam Ant.
So Day in the Life is with Kim Wilde.
Yes,
Look at
come
that.
on.
Steady on.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, there she is, reading a copy of Flexi Pop in the newsagents. That's really good. That's excellent.
Great. I look forward to reading that.
Yeah. Okay.
What we got here?
You from the top. Watty of the Exploited.
Oh, Exploited, of course, yeah.
Okay. Interview with him. And we got One Step Beyond. Susie Sue faces up to the future. Looks like she's going to a fortune teller by the look of it.
Yeah.
The Tomorrow People. Richard Burgess of Landscape explains why tomorrow belongs to him.
Oh, they did Einstein a Go-Go, didn't they?
Ah, was that them? Was that
them? Einstein a Go-Go.
I know the one, yeah. I haven't heard that for years. Once again, I shall enjoy putting that one on our playlist, yeah.
What else did they do? Were they the ones who did...
I don't know. We'll have to look at suggested tracks.
I get them and Department S mixed up.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Department S, I think, did Is Victor. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Is Victor.
Yeah, that was good, yeah. Okay. Saxon again. Anna Fried of ABBA talks about growing up in Sweden. Testament of Youth.
Bless her.
Fallout favourites. We asked Sting again.
Yeah.
What records he'd take with him into the bunker after the Big Bang.
Oh, dear.
Day Tripper by the Beatles. When a Man Loves a Woman. Dock of the Bay. Soul Man. Rescue Me. What Becomes the Broken Hearted.
Well, fair play to
Could
him.
It Be Love? Live it Lively Up Yourself, Bob Marley.
Great.
God Save the Queen, Sex Pistols, and 3 O'Clock Tick-Tock by U2.
Okay,
who we haven't seen mentioned at all yet.
No,
so
but
that was very early
don't forget,
on.
in 81, that they were nothing. They were doing absolutely zero zilch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you...
but it's interesting that Sting mentions them at that point.
I'll tell you one of my showbiz stories, right?
Okay, go on
then. I was in a band called The Distractions.
Okay.
Now I joined the Reformed lineup in 2011, and The Distractions and U2 were both signed to Ireland at the same time, around the same time. Obviously, I was just a kid then. But I've, talking to the guys about their experiences on Island Records, and they said that when their first albums came out around the same time.
Yeah.
The Distractions one is called Nobody's Perfect. They didn't really sell the units.
No.
Ireland was thinking about which one of those two do we drop?
Right.
And obviously we know which one they dropped.
Absolutely.
But you two were doing absolutely sweet naff all around that time. There weren't even a twinkle in the milkman's eye, should we say. 3 years later, when they did New Year's Day, that's when it totally took off. But in 1981, they were nada.
Yeah.
But so I guess Sting dropping one of their tracks, he would have probably seemed quite cool, like dropping something really obscure, oh, who's this U2? But fair play to him. The rest of his choices, I mean, I've always slagged him off, but he's got some good stuff in there, some soul. He's got some Bob Marley in there. He's got the Pistols. So fair play to him.
Yeah.
I take it all back, Sting. You're all right by me.
You're all right. And then we got our Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver.
A photo spectacular. So more of a adamant. Dear,
Stills from the video.
Still, it is.
See, the days before YouTube, before you could pause something and go
that's it,
and take a screenshot. It's like, wow, look at that. That's the bit where he goes through the window.
That's the photographer on set. Killer Kerry from Girls' School.
Oh, yeah. Because they did that collabo with Motorhead, didn't they? That was a great track.
Motorhead Girls' School, that's right.
Yeah. Please Don't Touch.
Yeah, I remember. We'll add it to the list. And they're in the photo strip here.
Yeah.
Letters to the Baroness again.
The mysterious Baroness.
Yeah. And then we got this one, Roger Taylor, Lifelines. So it's like a little Q&A there.
So this will be the Queen Roger Taylor.
Queen Roger Taylor, yeah. You just about recognise him. He looks very young.
Steve Strange with a sort of a funny, what would you call that? A curtain, perhaps?
Yes,
he's
indeed.
Wearing a curtain.
A bit of a frock thing going on.
There he is again, Mr. Ant doing his thing, yeah.
And Wish You Were Here with Hazel O'Connor. And the Wax Factor, it's a slightly different layout now, but we got Girls' School.
Got that? Yeah. Public Image, Flowers and
Cockney
Romance.
Rejects.
Yes.
White Snake, The Clash.
Oh, the Cure are creeping in there.
Sorry, the Cure rather, not The Clash.
Yeah.
And Gary Newman, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool. Love a bit of Cure, especially the early. Oh, look at that. Yes.
Paul Weller opens his. This is the Working Week with Paul Weller.
Yeah.
He's a busy chap, or he's.
Yeah.
Original advert for Anthem. That was a huge album. Love the artwork on that one.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, actually, yeah.
And there we are. So I think what we'll do, we'll take a little break there, and then we'll come back and we'll have a very quick look through Punk Lives.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the first issue of Punk Lives, and we have also the second issue as well. And we're not going to go into these in so much detail. We're just going to have a little flick through. One thing we were definitely interested was when do these sort of date from?
Well, that's Becky Bondage, isn't it?
Becky Bondage, Ms. Bondage.
Ms. Bondage, yeah.
And let's see, is there any sort
of
original
away?
Date? Well, the editor's Alf Martin. No, it doesn't say anything there.
Well, that's the first one.
Here we are.
Would it say on the...
Well, it might. There's, number one, 60p again. Same format as the Flexi Pop. A little advert for Kerrang there. No, it doesn't give any sort of date.
I'm guessing early 80s.
Early 80s again,
because Exploited are in there. So it can't be like 76 Punk, otherwise there'd be no Exploited.
Right.
So, yeah, Angelic Upstarts, that's more of the kind of oi element of punk, isn't it? And you got, he's already dead by now, isn't he? So,
interesting. Published in late 1981, an enlarged and revised edition of Fred and Judy Verman's book, The Sex Pistols, The Inside Story. So this is 82 at least, this one then.
I reckon so.
By the look of it.
Yeah.
But going to be loads on the Sex Pistols, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love the Sex Pistols. I love what I call kind of first wave British punk.
Yeah.
Pistols, Clash, Damned, Susie and the Banshees, Buzzcocks, The Slits, but not so much into like the 80s stuff. I kind of like the Exploited more for a kind of comedy element, really, because some of their lyrics are just so awful.
Really, yeah.
But not really my thing. But original punk like the Clash. Absolutely adore the Clash to bits. I listen to them all the time. I mean, I was too young to and the Damned, of course.
Yeah.
I was too young to know about punk first time round, but by the mid 80s, when I started to get into bands like the Jesus and Mary Chain, and the Creation Records artists like Primal Scream and some of their kind of like that wave of kind of bands, everybody was like bigging up punk, and those original albums, the albums by the original bands were all still available on reissues. So by about 85, 86, I was buying, like the first two Clash albums, first few Damned albums, Susie and the Banshees. And the good thing was, like a lot of those bands were still either going or they were doing different things, like Mick Jones from the Clash was doing Big Audio Dynamite by then.
Yeah.
And so is that the Damned again, is it?
Well, there's peppered throughout here.
Yeah, loads of Damns. There they are.
Yeah.
So that would be the Machine Gun Etiquette era, I reckon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This was a gig. It doesn't give
Exmal Deutschland.
Give the date. I was just trying to see. I'm pretty sure we're right. It's about 82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dates are important because nerds like me like to know.
It's maybe our one and only bit of real feedback, because the mags are great. It's just, we'd like to see a bit more dates
on the front of each issue. Yeah.
Like originally published in.
So would these have been like issued like in the early 80s, or would they have been done like posthumously years later?
No. These are in the early. You literally bought from the newsagents. So they would have been like in the early 80s. Or what Vive Le Rock have done is as well, they've combined them, because the original issues are really hard to find or expensive. You, like Flexi Pop, you can generally get them all online. But they're real expensive collector's items now. You know? So this is a great way of getting all the content for a cheap price. And we do have the second annual here.
Let's have a look at
that.
Which
is issues.
They look great though, don't they? Really well presented.
Beautiful, high quality. They're like books.
Spines and really great quality paper. And,
well, you mentioned when you first. There's just the smell of it.
Nice smell, yes.
Yeah, absolutely, really
That's
good.
what we love about physical format. Is the aroma.
There's something tangible about it.
Absolutely,
you don't get
can
that with
literally
digital.
smell it.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. Yeah, quite right. Yeah, so obviously they've been slightly doctored, you know, to take out, some stuff, but that's just to be expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was.
Let's see, is that a reviews page? Is it? Let's see what some of the
LPs. So we got Punk and Disorderly.
Yeah.
The Final Solution. That was a various artists compilation. Crass.
I think I had that actually. I can't. I had something by The Ejected and Angelic Upstarts on one of those compilations. I can't. I think it was Punk and Disorderly, but don't quote me on it. I haven't got it anymore.
No.
Yeah. Who are these guys? GBH. They played in Plymouth recently.
Yeah?
Yeah. Some of my friends went to see them.
Oh, wow. Ejected.
Oh, The Ejected. Yeah. They did a song called Have You Got 10p? Yeah. That was on one of those Punk and Disorderly compilations.
Have you got 10p?
Have you got 10p? Have you got 10p? And then he goes, nah, not me. The Ejected.
Dear.
Brilliant. But yeah, I liked some of the kind of shouty 80s stuff, but like I say, more for kind of comedy element than anything else, because when you're 16, 17, you love jumping up and down, and whereas something like the Clash or the Damned, that's lasted for me, you know.
Absolutely.
As a gentleman of a certain age, one still appreciates the music and the records of the Clash and the Damned and Susie and the Banshees big time. I don't know the Jinx. I've seen Pete and the Test Tube Babies years ago when I lived in Brighton. They're from Brighton.
Right.
They used to play gigs regularly, even well after their heyday.
Let's flick through the last.
Can I have a look at these the albums again?
Yeah, let's have a look. So, Anti-Nowhere League, live in Yugoslavia.
A bit rubbish, really.
The Red Alert.
Not my thing.
The Enemy.
Yeah, again, anything that was kind of current at that time would have been kind of like the second wave of punk, as people say, you know, as opposed to the first wave, which is that's what I like.
Yeah. Well, we'll just flick through the rest of these. I said the video would be 3 hours long if we went through
it like with a fine tooth comb.
But if they do a follow up to Flexi Pop, we shall definitely look forward to cover that one in a similar fashion. So do let us know in the comments down below if you've enjoyed our flick through. It's been brilliant looking through these.
Well, thank you very much for asking me. You know, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been brilliant.
A lot of fun.
It has indeed. So there we are. So that's the two punk waves, and there's our Flexi Pop. And
Great.
yeah, well, that was really brilliant, man.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, Rash.
Well,
Seriously,
thank you, Jules.
it's been
always
brilliant
a
fun.
pleasure.
And well, let's hope for future issues that we can have a look through together.
Yeah.
In the time. And don't forget, I will put all the records that we've mentioned, as much as I can pull them together, into that a dedicated Spotify playlist in the description down below.
Superb.
Excellent. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that one at home. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button. Do please subscribe to the channel for regular vintage retro content, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Yes, indeed.
Bye.